welcome to your transit forecast report. This is the Peace Dealer, and let's get this show on the road. I have your progressed natal chart here in green for reference. You have progressed your Virgo to Libra rising and have become the artist. You have progressed your moon currently to Virgo and are understanding your original master personality. And you have progressed your sun to Aquarius and are in the middle of awakening. Your sun is currently being awakened by this transit Pluto, which is extending the quality of your progressed celestial awareness. Being born a literal goddess, I need you to understand I am not trying to flatter you here when I say that this triple conjunction in Sagittarius attains your ascended goddess status. Everyone who has Jupiter on the sun is a god. I thought I told you who I thought I was. A god! Yes, Sun Jupiter, Kanye West said that. It's actually a Zeus thing. Yeah, y'all are godly. So that being said, and then you are a divine soul. So not only are you goddess, you're like a divine ascended goddess, alien. I will always marvel at this part of your chart every time I read your chart because it is that amazing. Other than that, all right, I think Action Bronson, I would check out Action Bronson. He's a soul reaper who was born, I think, a week before you were born. 83 and 84 has produced some of the most magical Sagittarians. Let me say 82 and 83 and 84. Okay, so props. Okay, I just wanted to get that straight. You killing it right now. All right, so let's talk about the next 3 months because we are literally coming into Aries season. So we can look at April, March, and June. April, May, and June. So why this is lit is because as a 24-degree Virgo rising, you are in the thick of the eclipse. All right, so this diabolical meeting of celestial planets in the sky that is once in a lifetime and will never ever happen again could represent a board meeting that is transitioning the end of old world into the beginning of a next era. All right, and Neptune has been our diabolical captain and president, touring through the mystical dreamlands of Pisces, disillusioning the collective in mass. And so we're going to feel like we're waking up out of a ridiculously just extended nightmare that went on longer than it even should have in any way, shape, or form. And I know that you have experienced this dream nightmare. We're going to say dream slash nightmare because Pisces is the ultimate duality that Gemini started. See, Gemini was duality in training. And, you know, we have the dark twin and everyone loves to make fun of us about how we have multiple personalities and we don't know who we want to be. But Pisces is literally out here like the final stage form evolution of dualness. And nobody knows what that other fish is. So I'm going to tell you what that other fish is. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare you might never wake up from. That's like the whole paradox of Pisces. You ever been in a dream and then you wake up and it's like, oh my God, I'm still dreaming. And then you wake up and it's like, oh my God, I'm still dreaming. And then you wake up and it's like, I'm still dreaming. That's literally Pisces. Anyway, other than that, you experience that with your relationships with other people. How ridiculous must it have been to literally be perfect? Because, I mean, you may not think you're perfect, but you have a Virgo rising, so you embody perfection on top of being a divine ascended alien goddess. And this is where this nightmare comes from other people. Your soul can feel, you know, the lies, the delusion, the illusion that other people come through you. And thankfully you're Virgo rising because you embody facts. And so you make people who are delusional allergic to you. Because you can't be deluded with people's beliefs that aren't really founded in reality. And so now they're allergic to you because it's hard to BS you. And now Saturn going through your 7th house has really toward the extension of integrity. Let's go back to 2014 when you had your Saturn return. Now you've been integrating it. The purity and integrity of the value in the 2nd house of your attitude is now the integrity that you are expressing this attitude towards others, thus raising the standards of your partnership. So now we have Saturn getting ready to go through your DC, and that's important to talk about because as it's officially crossing over your seventh, since 2023, the work it has done to align integrity in your behavior over your soul, capturing how you must believe you feel with others, is not only going to challenge this inner vision, the foundation of vision that you express towards others through your beliefs, but it's also having you step into the next round of the Hunger Games. It's also having you step into this unlocking and the cutting of the veil and the activation of this once in a lifetime Sun Neptune cycle that's never going to happen at 29 degrees until 150 plus years from now, and didn't happen last time until the 1800s because it's that big of a deal, is activating this cycle in your seventh house of partnerships so that this can transcend moving forward the quality of how much more supernatural you not only break through, but this is where, unlike myself and other people, this is going to hit you very uniquely. You have the Neptune square. Look at Neptune squaring your Neptune. So for the first time since you were ever born, you are integrating the supernatural portal of imagination, this bastion of the astral realm, this troublemaker in the seas and the god of the ocean that when it entered Pisces in 2012 caused 2 cruise line ship disasters that we still know of today. And I can only be overjoyed that it's leaving Pisces, but I'm very grateful for what it taught us. This is going to integrate now your clairvoyance and mastery of seeing into the private meaning of an experience and how you integrate and apply it towards others. So it's like from up until this point, you've always had this uncanny ability with your moon in Pisces to feel facets of others that'll have them look at you strange, because it's like there's no way you just saw and knew that about me. And now Neptune is showing you deeper into that rabbit hole directly, affirming a lot of what you've picked up, but maybe couldn't put the words on because now it's going to go into Aries. And that's one thing we want to look at. As Saturn goes into Aries, as Neptune goes into Aries, it's going to King Kong's Pluto. You're going to feel that intensity. It's going to also sextile Pluto in Cat, in Aqua. And that's why I appreciate you being born in 83, because us in 1990, we're afraid of, we're cautious of this Pluto Aqua. It hasn't hit our Pluto yet. It's hit your Pluto. We're looking at you, Danielle. We're looking at you, Danielle. We need to see how this affects you so we know how it's going to affect us. You were one of the first of our generation to choose to go through this, and we commend you. All right? Clearly, you are one of the elite counterparts who are here to pave the way before the rest of us go through the chopping, but awakening into just greater being. Lord knows how Generation X has just gone through this, and they look like the life has been taken out of their soul. They were so happy before. They were so happy to change the world. Now they just look unbothered and just defeated. So I'm glad we're next. Anyway, Aries is going to have you take action off of these beliefs you are unlocking with other people. This is a very crucial period. And I want to show you 6 months from now, because that's going to begin to be the harvest and fulfillment as now the sun comes over your rising and you are more aware of who you have become after this promise and contract you've unlocked. Like Saturn, North Node, Neptune is showing you beyond reality. When it comes to the space you divinely hold in partnerships, you may play matchmaker too. The Virgo risings are sponsoring divine partnerships, so you may inadvertently, against your will, play matchmaker just by being there, or you may by your will play matchmaker, which is beautiful. We also want to talk about Jupiter that is just crip walking on your North Node. Okay, in 6 months it's going to be in July, in Cancer, then we're going to have Uranus and Gem, Neptune, Aries, right? But for now, it's expanding your destiny. So the destiny path that allows you to fulfill your legacy of putting your word out there is expanding as you come into success. That's the most important part about this year. Jupiter in Gemini is completing the evolution cycle you began late 2016, and it's time for you to get this bag. It's time for you to get success. It's time for you to expand a whole host of how much more your word now levels up your presence in the public individually and your legacy. And it's good to know that the goddess Vesta it's just looking out for you. It's like, Princess Danielle, you know what I'm saying? We got to listen to her. You got Isis here. Your chart is so amazing. I'm sorry I'm fanboying over your chart. I love stelliums like this. So Jupiter opposite the sun is you fulfilling success through partners that you are expanding that take you there, because this is opposite your sun. So your awareness of this is going to be directly through other people. What are they doing? As you're communicating with them, it is increasing your reputation. Yeah, it's squaring Pisces, and people are going to gossip because they're afraid of you, because you're not human being. You're in human form, but you are literally the ascended expression of, Sophia Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really are the living, breathing meaning. You're magic. You're magic. Okay, we live in a postmodern materialist reductionist society that still acts like magic is pseudoscience, and you're out here breathing. So the ideas that are going to expand moving forward will be set up over the next 3 months as, of course, we push through Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. So that by the time we get into Cancer, the Jupiter's in Cancer, you begin your 11th house transit later into the next year. But this is going to have you now push forward the success you are expanding. This is very exciting. All that's going to try in your Scorpio. You're going to come into liquidity coming into November. So Aries is significant because that's what's going to actually push us forward when it comes to now the direction we apply our beliefs in. We're going to have that new moon. And the reason why that's significant for you is now that we've established Saturn, everything that you're quite literally meant to establish, in relationships with others, now this is going to be you taking those individual actions towards them to reflect your individuality and character. So this whole Pisces season was the final level of belief since 30 years ago. And now you're taking action to form this through with others. Venus and Mercury are retrograding, re-evaluating very powerfully your individual thought process. What do I think now that my beliefs have completely changed, now that I have maintained this authority and integrity and dignity? And that's what now moving forward to Aries is going to drive forward this inner vision that you were just born endowed with. And that's what's going to take this innovative, expansive, supernatural, clairvoyant quality of your perspective, right? And you're going to use that as an angle and perspective, a higher perspective to push forward. See, I don't have Sagittarius in my chart. So when I move with my Mars in Aries, it's very recklessly and stupidly. If I had Sagittarius and I could be a bird's eye view to see how dumb I look, to see how powerful my actions look, it will give me more foresight. And we see that you have this. And the square to Mercury is going to challenge the integral, constructive, organizational method of your thoughts with the raw, impulsive, savage mode of thinking to make sure that the integrity of your mindset is matching with the authenticity that's needed. All of this, of course, is going to go back into Pisces and go back to sleep. So we're going to have the new moon here. Then coming into Taurus, why that's significant is because now we're going to revisit the triple conjunction we had the year prior, right before Jupiter actually entered Gemini. So we had Venus, Uranus, Jupiter, Sun at the tail end of Taurus, which we know was in your 8th house. Okay, and this is what now strengthened the quality of wealth and the trust that other people give you from their value. And also the 29-degree activation impending of the mastery of your natural healing abilities. By the time Uranus actually touches this, coming soon, right? By one touch, you heal people. All right. Jupiter, since last year, has already expanded the quality of this and then expressed the idea of what experience this looks like. All right. Now, relative to that last year, we're coming back around to resurface, of course, with the Sun Uranus, which at the tail end of your 8th is actually going to set you up for more unconventional windfalls of income when we come back into September. This 8th house launch here, throughout the next 6 months, you're unconventionally going to be coming into a lot of money. By your own merit, by the way, okay? Especially once we get into the liquidity rush of your 10th house. And I once again have to emphasize this sequence we're seeing here is all geared towards your fulfillment and success, quite literally. And then, well, that's when we're going to go into Gemini season. And that's where we're going to process you stepping into the success. So you're going to have Jupiter coming over your MC. We're going to have Mercury catch up out of retrograde to the sun, producing this epiphany of how you, throughout the past 12 years and specifically last year, have really stepped up, rised up. And this is geared towards how much more unconventional you're willing to communicate, so that by the time Uranus opposes Uranus, you see a much more flawless innovation and unexpected quality of, you guessed it, success, and how your philosophy is shaped towards the true meaning of the success and your career and legacy goals. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. Of course, by the time we get into Cancer, Saturn and Neptune will be Aries, the sun will be squaring it. This is all going to be in your 10th. You're going to be really pushing forward now this perspective of what success is and how you feel you should now, of course, drive it forward and come into the rewards coming into next year. Danielle, you have so much to look forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to your feedback, and, show me some love whenever you get blessed. Remember me. Okay, remember me when you get super famous. Be like, oh yeah, I had an astrologer. He was hooking it up. You stay blessed as always. All right, until next time.